Welcome to our St. Catherine's Day celebration. It is always such a happy occasion when we gather together as a St. Catherine's family to commemorate the founding of our school by Virginia Randolph Ellett, known fondly as Miss Jenny. It brings me incredible joy to warmly welcome, if virtually, all of our honored guests who join us today. In their senior year, they were elected by their classmates and faculty to bring St. Catherine's message to the school. We take this time every year to share the story of St. Catherine of Alexandria, our patron saint. We heard her story told by our wonderful middle school girls, a story that we repeat every year. Not only is it a tradition, but it's also important that we remember her life each year and the virtues that she exemplified. This gives us the opportunity to reflect on our own lives and on how we demonstrate these virtues in our actions. Just like all of you who are gathered here today, Catherine of Alexandria was a brave young girl who stood strong in her conviction. I challenge all of you to reflect on your own beliefs and to stay true to your values, just as St. Catherine did so many centuries before you. In St. Catherine's honor, this service also recognizes one senior who, by the vote of her classmates and faculty, best represents the ideals of Catherine of Alexandria: commitment to scholarship, determination, courage, hope, and faith. I will introduce this year's senior in a moment, and then we will all have the pleasure of hearing from her. As a reminder, this service is held on or as close to All Saints' Day in order to give us the opportunity, as we have just done, to honor and remember the lives of those from our St. Catherine's family who have passed away in this last year. We remember them fondly for the many ways they enriched our lives and supported St. Catherine's School. The tradition of St. Catherine's Day goes all the way back to 1924, when the junior class, along with our founder, Virginia Randolph Ellett, wrote a play portraying the life of Catherine of Alexandria, who Miss Jenny selected as our patron saint. St. Catherine's Day first took on the form of an elaborate pageant, but later was simplified to focus on St. Catherine's life and virtues. Before I introduce this year's special senior honoree, I do want to say again and extend a thank you to the clergy and the staff of All Saints Church for their hospitality in hosting us today in this absolutely beautiful space. Now, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce this year's St. Catherine's Day honoree. This young woman, who we celebrate today, represents the best of who we are. Someone you can rely on, an old soul, an asset to the school, intellectually curious. These are the refrains that can be found in teachers' comments describing today's honoree. She began her time at St. Catherine's as a student in kindergarten. Her teacher, Mrs. Friend, wrote, "She comes in each morning with a ready smile and something to share with her teachers and classmates. During choices, she enjoys the block center, house center, or sharing a book with her friend." Her love of learning was a well-known fact throughout lower school, with teachers noting that she always has an interesting comment to tell me, and that she's the student who loved learning everything. By middle school, our honoree was demonstrating great maturity as well as commitment to her studies. Middle school faculty wrote that her best quality is her inclusiveness and noted her positive spirit. At the same time, they celebrated her great humor and the laughter in her soul. In her upper school years, she is known for her authentic presence and her ability to stop, to listen, and to truly hear the person before her, whether that person is an underclassman, a friend, a teacher, or a counselor. A first-generation American whose parents taught her to relish the freedom of learning after leaving Iran, she works tirelessly to broaden her worldview. Her powerful listening skills and unassuming nature have served the school well in her leadership on Honor Council. She exemplifies the best of us in her many other leadership roles, including peer advisor, a leader in the Speak Up mental health support group, and a Joni co-chair. This student truly embodies our values of scholarship, determination, hope, and faith. With great gratitude for her tireless efforts to make St. Catherine's a better place, and great affection for her warmth, kindness, and humor, it is my great honor to name as our 2021 St. Catherine's Honoree, Saya Rose Zaraha.
Thank you, Mrs. Trask, for that very kind introduction. And thank you to the students, faculty, and previous St. Catherine's Day honorees for being here in person and virtually. I'm honored to speak with you all, and my heart goes out to those in our community who have lost a loved one this year. I bet that a majority of my fellow seniors, or even upper schoolers in general, have heard me say, and I quote, "I still feel like a fifth grader." And I'm not kidding. This is my 13th year at St. Catherine's, but it truly feels like the years have gone by in the blink of an eye. This school has an incredibly nurturing environment, allowing me to enjoy my childhood while also challenging and supporting me in my academic and social development. The faculty always finds a way to incorporate a variety of activities into our curriculum that build on the fun we had in lower or middle school, while still pushing us to reach our highest potential in every way. Now, I don't know if I still feel like a fifth grader just because the past 7 years have gone by so fast, or because I feel like I'm always learning something new from this school. St. Catherine's is an anchor in my life. In all of my years here, I've always had unconditional support. Seeing Mrs. Friend and Mrs. McCallum grounds me. Even though they haven't taught me since lower school, I started my journey with these caring teachers. They inspire me to maintain an optimistic perspective every day. I started and ended lower school with them in my life, and that was the beginning of my growth as a person. So thank you. Middle school was the time where we started to adjust to a new environment filled with actual homework, assessments, mapping the world, and even locker checks. Every single one of our middle school teachers had the most incredible attitude despite our younger selves freaking out if we got a detention for not signing in or when receiving our first ever C. You all are the reason we are motivated and determined to improve every single day. We appreciate you. And when I first entered upper school, I thought I would be a small speck in a huge galaxy. I was so completely wrong. At St. Catherine's, my teachers have never made me feel inadequate. They are always checking up on each student and making sure everyone's voice is heard. Whenever I enter Dr. Ute's classroom, I feel like I'm entering a haven in the midst of a tough week. He genuinely asks how I'm doing and values each and every student's words. Zhu Lao Shi, my wonderful Chinese teacher, has a smile on her face every day, and I can tell that she loves what she does. Her encouragement in class is constant and extremely valuable, especially when I keep messing up how to say sorry in Chinese, despite having taken the language for 12 years. And even though Dr. Warren teaches my hardest class this year, he never fails to make me feel better when he sings "This Girl is Saya" to the tune of "Girl on Fire" by Alicia Keys. Each year during this service, we honor St. Catherine of Alexandria, the patron saint of our school, as a strong, independent female scholar. She did not let anything or anyone get in the way of her faith, not even an emperor, not even under the threat of death. When I think of Catherine, I think of one of the core values of our school, empowering girls for a lifetime. Catherine was an extremely empowered woman, and her actions offer an ideal of strength, courage, and faith that Miss Jenny, our school's founder, believed we should strive towards. Today, St. Catherine's School educates each girl to fully embrace her mind, body, and spirit. That commitment to educating the whole girl is particularly important to me and my family. My parents immigrated to the United States in the 80s and 90s from the country of Iran. In Iran, education is highly valued, so when I was young, they wanted to find a school for me that had the same respect for education that they had grown up with. That wasn't the only thing they wanted, however. My mom looked at many potential schools in the Richmond area, but none of them spoke to her as much as St. Catherine's did, particularly with the emphasis on female empowerment. This focus on pushing girls to be independent and self-confident learners was something she did not experience when she was my age. I can see some part of my mother and her tenacity in St. Catherine of Alexandria's courage to pursue her faith in a time of adversity. My mom grew up when the Iran-Iraq War ignited. While she was still able to go to school during that treacherous time, her education was restricted, and she feared for her life every single day. She has told me that she would often think about coming to America to better her own life as well as her future family's life. My mom's strength during that unpredictable time, as well as her determination to continue her education in a place where she was not seen as an equal, greatly inspires me. Her perspective on the importance of education, similar to Catherine's views on her faith, were tested many times, but neither of them let anything get in the way of what they valued most. When it was time to send me to school, the most important thing for my parents was not just that I get a good education, but that I would be able to pursue that education in an environment where I felt empowered and valued, particularly as a girl. That's when my parents decided to send me to St. Catherine's. Thinking back on it now, I cannot thank my parents enough for sending me to St. Catherine's. Mom, Dad, you all worked extraordinarily hard to be where you are, and I want to recognize your remarkable stories and journey to the United States. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to attend a school where I have really found myself. I'm so grateful. There are so many people that don't have the same opportunities as our school provides us with, especially in relation to having the freedom to learn as girls. St. Catherine's is serious about the importance of women's education. I have learned to be strong while recognizing when I need to ask for help. I cannot imagine spending 13 years of my life at any other place. Each and every member of our school's community puts so much effort into the success of our school, and I want you to know that I recognize and cherish you all. The faculty and staff have molded the students into future leaders, and I witness that leadership all the time throughout the day on campus, whether it's the fourthies leading carpool or team captains preparing for a new athletic season. I look forward to seeing what my fellow seniors do when they graduate. I am so proud to be a member of such a bright and well-versed class. You all inspire me so much and constantly push me to be a better version of myself. I am so thankful to have had you all by my side these past 13 years. During the third grade dance show and fourth grade play, we all displayed our incredible stage skills, which for some of us initiated our love for the performing arts. I will always cherish our sixth grade trip to New York City, where we utilized our skills of crossing the street safely, having practiced enough on Grove Avenue. And during the eighth grade bay trip, we learned how to canoe, catch crabs, and managed to keep our hair in pigtail braids for over 3 days. I love you all more than you know. I would like to conclude my speech with our school's motto: what we keep we lose, and only what we give remains our own. Thank you, St. Catherine's, for teaching me that it is in giving that we truly receive. Giving this address today allows me to say thank you in a way that I never thought I could. And I'm beyond grateful to be this year's St. Catherine's Day honoree. Thank you.